Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 167 of our BU 365 day challenge. To do one thing every day that improves us in some way, shape, or form. One little thing every day that we do that makes us a better version of ourselves or helps us to become the person we want to become has a huge impact on us over the course of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year. So if we just pick and do and consciously choose to do, I'm going to do one little thing every day to make my life better and to go in the direction I want it to go, we will get to where we want to go in all the different areas and aspects of our life faster than we had ever imagined possible. And especially than if we're just living our life and going through the motions without consciously choosing to move the direction we want to go. So this month, the month of June, we are focusing on the life framework area of relationships. So we're talking about relationships, and our topic today is relationships and the law of attraction. Now, I'd never really heard of the law of attraction. I studied personal development things a lot. Prior to the movie The Secret coming out, like a lot of people, like millions and millions of people, if not billions, I really had never even heard about universal laws or the laws of attraction. The law of attraction in particular. Law of attraction is, of course, one of 7 or 9, whichever list of rules and laws you listen to or believe in, or maybe none. The law of attraction is by far the most popular and most common. And what does it mean? The law of attraction means that we attract what we think about. We attract what we are. Thoughts become things. In The Secret, they talked about ask, receive, believe. It's more like, to me, be, do, have, but ask, believe, receive was repeated over and over again in the movie The Secret. And The Secret did a good job, I think, demonstrating and laying out the beginning information about the law of attraction, and got a lot of people interested in realizing and awakening that they can, and we do indeed, create the life that we want here on our planet Earth, here in our life experience. We actually have a lot more power and control over our lives than we're often led to believe. So today I'm going to share a tool. I'm going to talk about 3 particular segments of the law of attraction, and then just briefly, and then a method called the 369 method. And that's going to be our tool today that we are going to, as an action item, apply and just practice. Just run through it one time today. And yep, it means you have to do something this morning, something around lunchtime, and something before you go to bed. And it's really easy. We're just going to write out an affirmation about our desired relationships. And we're going to see how it makes us feel to do the 369 exercise. And of course, I've heard this as different versions of, it's not always 369, it's whatever works for you. But it's basically a way to remind us to review what we want in the morning, the afternoon, and the night. So at least 3 times during the day, and more right before we go to bed, because what we think about right before we go to bed, our mind and our subconscious works on while we're sleeping and helps us to create that faster. So there's 3 aspects of the law of attraction that are often talked about. One is that like attracts like. So if I wake up and I'm in a good mood and I'm looking for all the good things around me, that manifests itself and creates more good things in my life throughout that day. If I wake up in the morning, and the most common example I've heard over the decades is, and I stub my toe getting out of bed, that can make me switch my mood, switch a frame of reference, and focus on all the negative things that are happening. Oh, I got a headache. Oh, my knee hurts. Oh, I spilled toothpaste on my robe, whatever, and we'll create this chain of events of negativity, and then we end up having a bad day. So like attracts like. I attract people that I'm like. With respect to our relationships, look at the people that you spend the most time with and notice how many things that you have in common, how alike you are. You're probably more alike in the things that show up in the world than you are different. The second one is nature abhors a vacuum. So when we think about something we don't want and we flip that over and we think about something we do want and we don't have it yet, it creates this gap, it's dissonance, I still said it wrong, dissonance, it's this dissonance, this gap between where we are and what we want. And that gap is a vacuum, and nature doesn't like a vacuum. If we don't fill it up with something around us will fill it up, because nature and the world doesn't like there to be empty space. I think of, in my town, we have a state park, and the state park had to drain the lake because they needed to repair the dam that was on the end of the lake. So they drained this lake, and it was amazing to go out there and watch every day how nature reclaimed this lake. And first there were little plants and ivy things all around the ground. Then there were taller plants, and then there were shrubs and bushes. I didn't see any trees grow up. It was only drained for a couple of years. But it was a prime example of how nature and the universe don't like a vacuum. They don't like empty space, and they fill it in with what's appropriate for the environment. The same thing happens to us. If we don't have goals and objectives and aren't working toward what we want, other people around us will fill that time and energy and thoughts and for us, and we'll end up creating their goals and their objectives and the life they think we should have instead of the life that we want to have. And finally, the third law of attraction, or aspect of it I just want to talk about, is that the present is always perfect. Now, boy, that's a hard one to swallow sometimes, especially if in our relationships we aren't exactly where we want to be. If we're struggling in a relationship, maybe at work or at home, or our primary partner, that sounds bad. It sounds like we've got secondary and tertiary. No, our significant other. I like the term significant other because it covers everybody. The present is always perfect. It's always a perfect reflection of where we are right now. And we might not like where we are right now. The only person that can change that is us. So it's always good to look at our results, look at what we're getting, and realize that that is just a culmination of the past choices and experiences that we've had that lead us to where we are right now. But if we don't look at and pay attention to where we are right now and the results we're getting, we don't know if that's matching what we want or not. So if the relationship that we're in, it's always perfect for us right now. My ex-husband, as much as I hate to admit it, he was the perfect relationship for me at the time because he exactly matched my level of self-esteem and self-confidence, which is really hard to admit right now. But back then, he was the perfect fit and the perfect match for me. So what is this 369 method, and how are we going to use it today to improve and use the law of attraction to help us attract exactly what we want for our relationships? First thing we're going to do is we're going to think about a relationship and what do we want. And we're going to create an affirmation, just an I am statement of what we want. So I'm going to use, and I already wrote it down, I am creating the ideal relationship for me. I am creating the ideal relationship for me. Or my partner and I have an awesome relationship. Or that's hard because that involves the other person. We only can control what we can control. So that's why I like I am statements. I am a loving partner and deserving of love in return. Whatever. It can be super simple. I am love. I unconditionally love myself right now. If you don't have anything else, use I unconditionally love myself right now, because that is a great one because it helps us work on the relationship with ourselves. So I already do that one. So I'm going to stretch just like everybody else and do the assignment. And I'm going to use I am creating the ideal relationships for me right now. I am creating the ideal relationships for me right now. I'm going to say that 3 times in the morning. I'm going to say it 6 times around lunchtime or in the afternoon. And I'm going to say it 9 times before bed. I don't know who created this. I don't know where it came from, but somebody decided that this was the great way to do it. And I guess it gets us saying it 9, 15, 16, 17, 18 times, and supposedly 16 seconds to create a new thought or feeling or whatever. So maybe there's something like that has to do with that ties in with the law of attraction. But affirmations have been proven with feeling and emotion and belief to create changes and create the things that we want in our life. So with respect to relationships today, our action item is to do the 369 method. Say your affirmation 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times before bed or in the evening, whatever works for you. It doesn't matter what time of day. I would say it does matter that you say them with feeling and emotion, and if you can visualize and tie all the different emotions into it, of course, that supercharges our affirmations. But that's what we're doing today. And share in the comments below, just done that you did it, or some aha moment that you had, or something that you realized about the law of attraction, how it impacts your relationships today. That's it. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Good luck. Bye. You got this.